When you concentrate on this, winning will take care of itself. I'll be back in 20 seconds to tell you what that is and how to make it work for you. So stick around. Okay, welcome gamers to preseason training day 11 inside the extraordinary game of entrepreneurship and how to play it. My name is Chris Allen-White. I am the game master, and my role in the game is mission critical, and that role is to disrupt your thinking. Now, why do I want to do that? Because I want to empower you to live outside your phone booth so that you can share your extraordinary with the world. Now, if this is your first time with us today, what the heck, you may be thinking, does living outside your phone booth have to do with anything? Well, just ask yourself this question. What would have happened had this guy never gotten out of his phone booth? I mean, literally think about what would have happened. Exactly. Nothing would have happened. And that's why living outside of your phone booth every day is priority number one. So my friend, if you're ready, then I'm ready. Game on. All right, gamers, here's the headline for today. The score is what counts most. So let me ask you this. How are you measuring performance in your business? You know, if you're like 99% of business owners, you're doing it haphazardly. And like the 99%, you're likely not achieving the success that you'd like to achieve. Am I right? You know, I love this thought from Clive Woodward, who said, concentrate on measuring performance and winning will take care of itself. So here's what you need to hear today. I learned about keeping score studying a guy by the name of John Maxwell, who gives us some key reasons why having a scoreboard is a non-negotiable in your business. The first key reason is that the scoreboard is essential to understanding. Think about this in the context of sports. At any time, you know exactly what the situation is. Now in business, we might think about keeping a budget, for example, as part of our scoreboard, or tracking sales, or perhaps tracking the number of leads you generate on a daily basis into your business, things of that nature. Secondly, the scoreboard, it's essential for evaluation, right? The scoreboard gives you continual feedback, right? And why is continual feedback important? Well, we know that growth, quite simply, equals change. And we know in order to develop into the best entrepreneur we can be, we've got to grow, which means we have to change. But here's the linchpin of that argument. When it comes to growth, change alone is not enough. If you want to become better, you have to change in the right direction. And you can only do that if you are able to evaluate yourself, right? Makes sense? The scoreboard is also essential for decision making. Okay, again, let's think about the football analogy that I like to use. Let's say it's the fourth quarter. Let's say you're down by 21 points and there's 7 minutes to go. If that's what the scoreboard is telling you, your decisions are going to be very different than if it was the fourth quarter and you were up by 21 points with 7 minutes to go. In one scenario, you're going to be throwing the ball. In another scenario, you're likely going to be running the ball. Okay? Now, why do you need to hear all this talk about the scoreboard? Here's why. Because you can't make adjustments unless you know where you stand. You know, so many business owners that I work with and clients that I coach and mentor, you know, they get frustrated about lack of results inside of their business, lack of, you know, meeting expectations or not achieving something that they've set out to achieve. And when you start to talk to them about the score, you know, talk to me about your numbers, talk to me about your metrics, they don't have them together. And so here's the problem with that. Without a scoreboard, you can't make adjustments because the scoreboard always lets you know where you stand. You know, John Maxwell says the game plan tells you what you want to happen, right? We've been working on the game plan inside of the playbook here in the preseason, right? So the game plan is telling us what we want to happen, but it's the scoreboard that tells you what is happening. You can't ignore the reality of the situation and expect to win. So here's the bottom line. If winning in the game of entrepreneurship is your goal, you must keep score. So here's what you need to do. As you can probably imagine, your execution step for today is to create a scoreboard for your business. Now, I want you to brainstorm your scoreboard inside of your playbook, but you may want to use an online tool for this. I personally like to use Google Drive spreadsheet, and I also like to use Trello, okay, as part of my scoreboard. Now, the categories of things that I track on my scoreboard may or may not be the same as what you track, okay? But let me just share with you what's on my scoreboard. So I track my morning routine and my evening routine. Okay, so I've got my morning routine, and then I've got all the things I do in my morning routine, and every single day I am tracking my execution of those steps in my morning and evening routine, and I'm keeping a score on that, okay? Another thing I track on my scoreboard is goal development, and then my progress towards those goals, and then my accomplishment of those goals. That's what's on my scoreboard. I'm tracking on my scoreboard task definition, you know, the action steps that I'm taking to achieve my goals, and then I'm tracking progress, and then I'm tracking accomplishment, okay? I'm tracking leads into my business. I'm tracking sales into my business as part of my scoreboard. I'm tracking personal growth. I have a growth plan in my business, and I'm tracking on a day-to-day basis how much personal development time am I spending. What's the book that I'm focused on reading this week? Things of that nature. And then lastly, I'm tracking my health. For example, am I drinking enough water? I literally track how much water that I'm drinking every single day. Okay, so the question is, what needs to be on your scoreboard? Okay, only you know the answer to that. And let me protect your thinking again by saying you don't have to get this perfect. But I do want you to put some critical thought behind what should be on your scoreboard, and then I want you to start to exercise this idea of keeping score in your business, and then you can optimize this process over time as you do it. I know for myself, I'm still optimizing. I've been doing this for several years now, and I'm still optimizing how I keep score in my business. Okay, so give yourself permission to be flexible. Okay, now the scoreboard is essential to winning. Kind of the bottom line point here today is that if you want to win, you must be accountable. You've got to be accountable to what you're doing in the moment every single day, every single week inside of your business. And the scoreboard is what's going to help you remain accountable, because it's impossible to win without a scoreboard. It's impossible to win. So again, your action step is create your scoreboard, and then I'll be back tomorrow to talk to you about a strategy to plant your flag as we move forward together into the season that will empower you to overcome any adversity you face. I'll see you then. Bye for now.
Thanks for listening to the extraordinary game of entrepreneurship and how to play it. And remember, gamers, if it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. So get out of your phone booth and go share your extraordinary with the world.